Welcome back to my weekly card counting video, and I am so excited for this video, guys, because we're going to start a new series where we're going to take a $15,000 bankroll and we're going to apply a bet spread using card counting. And we're going to have some additional rules, but eventually what we're going to do is over the next 10 weeks, we're going to keep track to see, does card counting actually work? All right. And so I'm sure you probably wondered this, and this is going to be a little experiment where we're going to be using some double deck to help us. Doing this for a couple reasons. One, the odds are a little bit better with double deck, and two, we can get through this a little bit faster. So I think in each one of these videos over the next 10 weeks, I'm going to be playing with we're going to do 2 shoes of double deck. I'll probably hand deal it, but 2 shoes of double deck. And we're going to keep track of our results starting with $15,000. All right, and we're going to work our way up. Now, to kind of illustrate this, what I have done is, this is $15,000 worth of chips, right? I know you don't take your whole bankroll to the casino, but to kind of illustrate that, for me to keep track, it's going to be just a little bit easier. So just to prove this out to you, we have, this is in groups of 5, so 5, 10, and then 15, or let's see, I can count 5, 10, 11, 12, $13,000 of $1,000 chips. All right, and then these are in groups of 5, so this would be another 500, 1,000, so that would bring up to 14,000, right? And then in green, these are in groups of 100, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're at 14,800. Okay, and then lastly, I'm also going to do some reds here to help us out with the bankroll. I'll show you why here in a second. I think I have another 200 here. These are in groups of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, that's 100, and then another 200. So I think if it was at 14,800, now this should get us up to 15,000. All right, so I'll put those over here like this. I need more room. Okay, with this, I'm going to apply a few different things as far as our bankroll goes. All these pages going on, right? So we're gonna have a bet spread we'll talk about here in a second. But first off, my expected value with this bankroll that we're gonna apply in a second is gonna be $277 an hour. I think most of you out there would probably take that. In fact, give this video a thumbs up if you would prefer that over your daytime jobs, salary or hourly pay or whatever. All right, your risk of ruin with it, typically most pros like to get this under 1%. Some are okay with 2%, so I kind of split the difference. We're going about 1.5 here. Our N0, if you know what that is the time to overcome 1 standard deviation. Don't get too tripped up by that, but it's going to be about 26 hours to do that. We're going to be playing, like I said, double deck with a 1.5 penetration, meaning there's only 26 cards after the cut card. That's pretty typical, maybe more like 30. All right, we'll do our best to kind of get it right around that range. We also are going to have resplitting aces, doubling after splits, and this is going to be an H17 game. So I know my table says that this is an S17 game, but I found most places around the country you're more likely to find an H17 game than an S17 game. If you have that, that's going to make your EV more and your risk of ruin less. So, you know, kudos to you if you have a place. I know Pennsylvania has a lot of S17 games. Splitting, we're going to be max able to split to 4 hands. So if I were to get like a 9 or a pair of 9s and split it and get another 9, right, it can only do that 4 times. And then also there's going to be no surrender available. Again, kind of like the H17. I find H17 and no surrender games are probably the most common. So I want to treat this kind of like what you would have in a casino near you. Right, now the bet spread that we're going to use, I'm just going to go through this. I'm not going to do this in every single video. I'll probably show the page and you can pause it in the next ones, but I want to walk through this first one. If you want to skip ahead to the actual counting, that's fine. But for any true count that's less than 1, all right, so if it's a 0 or anything negative, we're going to be betting 1 spot of $10, okay? 1 spot of $10. And we're going to go all the way up to 2 spots of 5 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, oops, need one more there. So it's easy to remember because for each true count, you're just adding 1 more green in those 2 spots. For example, at a true 1, you're gonna be betting 1 green in 2 spots. True 3 would be like 3 greens in 2 spots. and so on. But we're gonna max this out at a +5, okay? All right, so we're gonna apply that bet spread, and again, if you do this on average, we're gonna win about $277 an hour. Now, like I said, we're gonna do this over 10 different weeks. So starting out here, since this is what I'm starting with, of course, we need to put in $15,000 for our start, and then whatever we get at the end of today after playing 2 shoes of double deck, we're going to write in that, you know, either plus or minus a little bit. Now, because that average of 277, there's going to be some times where we lose, you know, maybe a couple thousand, sometimes where we win a couple, 2,000-3,000, right? So it probably will work out eventually after 10 weeks playing 2 shoes of double deck each. That's 20 shoes of double deck. We should start to get an idea of what this is going to do for us. Now, that's still a pretty small sample size, but I have confidence that at the end of 10 weeks, we will be up. All right, so let's try it here. And the other thing with this, I'll put my chart off to the side. The other thing with this is, instead of me counting with you, I'm going to be pumping in some casino type sounds to make this even more realistic. All right, if you do want a video that maybe I do count along with you, I've done plenty of those in the past. You can go find those. But for right now, let me get these all shuffled up, and I'm not gonna, sometimes I stack this a little bit so that I have some low cards that come out first to increase the count. I'm gonna shuffle this up like normal because we're gonna treat this as real as possible, okay? So just so you can watch me here on this first one. All right, maybe in the future videos, I'll speed this up a little bit, but you can tell I have no clue how to shuffle this. I'm just doing things I've seen them do at the casino before. There's a strip. All right, we'll put these two together. All right, I want to make sure that you know that this is random. We'll throw these in the middle of those like that. Oops, there's random king. We'll just stick that in there. And then we'll shuffle them all together once. Nice. Okay, and so we do need to cut off right around 26 cards here, because that's what our penetration is calling for. In other words, otherwise our numbers wouldn't be quite right. That's a little fat. Let me do a little bit less than that. In fact, let's count it out to see if we're right. I think this is probably, I'd say it's a little less. We'll do a couple more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There we go. All right, so that is right at 26 cards cut off. Okay, I'm gonna pump in the casino type sounds. We'll also have a burn card here. I will come back and check this at the end. I might even write on a piece of paper what I think the count is, so you know I'm doing my bets correctly. All right, and we'll go from there. All right, are you ready? So since the count is at 0, we're starting off with this. Here comes in the casino sounds. Let's go. All right, so I put my guess of what I think it is underneath here. We'll see if I'm right and whether you're right or not. It's most important, okay? Otherwise, we're going to count these up, see what our count is, and then the opposite of that will be what the count was at the end. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 7. All right, 7 and a burn card. 8. All right, so since that's positive 8, that means that our count there was negative 8, and yes, that's what I had as well. So that means our bets were right. It was pretty much negative the whole time. So hopefully this next one we can be able to raise our bets. Again, I'm going to shuffle these up for us. I will put this in fast motion this time so that it doesn't waste your guys' time. All right, again, we're going to try to cut off right around 26 cards. Let's see here. Let's say right about there. All right, just so you can see it. There's our penetration. Got a burn card. Put that there. And hopefully, raise our bets a little bit. But again, we're starting out at 0. All right, are you ready? And let's go. All right, again, I'm going to put my guess on here, and then we will count these up, and then we will count our winnings for this week. Let's see if we are right or not with the counts. All right, and see if we made or lost any money. Okay, put these over here so I don't forget them. All right, let's see. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, D1, D2, D1, 0, and D1. All right, and this is also D1 with the burn card. Okay, so since that's -1, this had to be +1, and that is what I had as well. Okay, so that means our bets were probably right or close to it. Okay, and so then let's count this up and see if we can add to our chart for week 1 here with this 15. I did not tap into the 1,000 or the $100 chips at all, and so I think I just have to count up the rest of these, which that first shoe I think we're only playing reds, which since the casino had the advantage with those negative counts, is how it goes. All right, I'm gonna put these in some different piles and I'll get back to you. All right, so bringing it back in here, just a reminder, we had 13,000 in the yellow chips, another 1,000 in black, so that's 14,000. Start at 15, so let's see if we made or lost a little bit of money here. So that's 14,000. These are in groups of I think 100. So 100, 200, 300 for the reds. All right, we'll get to that extra stuff in a second here. So that's 300, and then these are also in groups of 100. All right, so if that's 300, this is 400, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. So with that 1,000 over here, this is the 15,000. And then we also had 3 extra greens, so that's 75, 80, 81, 82, 50. So we made, after all of that, we made $82.50. So for week 1 over here, I'm going to say that we are now at our bankroll of 15,082.50. All right, so made just a little bit there. We'll see if the next few weeks we either win or lose. I did do this on my Patreon as well with some double deck. I just did it for 6 weeks, and the results were pretty interesting on there. I will say there's some weeks that we did win and some weeks that we did lose. So if you want to check that out and become a member of my Patreon, that link is in the description of this video. Otherwise, guys, until next week for week 2, remember this is A1 Blackjack.